How's everybody doing today? Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate that. Hey guys, make sure you guys send in your heart me's, please. Okay, got that. Thank you, Steph. Curtis, thank you. What was I about to do? Oh, yes. Horrible short-term memory. Alright, the sound should be on this thingy now. We're good. Amy, what's up? Kat, hello. Hope you guys are all doing well. Batosai, hello. Alright, I gotta change the gift goal to a one coiner thingamabobber. We'll do the heart puff today. Alright. All good. Alright, welcome everyone. Nice, happy for that for you, Amy. Hopefully we can provide some good entertainment for you for the next hour. It's going, Steph. I'm doing all right, hanging in there. How about you? And guys, let's try to get the likes on up. The likes are kind of important, especially for the beginning of the live, guys. I know it's not always, fun tapping. I get it, guys. I understand, but it is really important to the beginning of the live, and the beginning of the live is really important. That kind of sets the tone for the rest of the live in terms of just getting enough people in here to have a consistent flow of guests. So, like the first 5-10 minutes, like really, if you can, try to tap away as much as possible, and send your heart me's, engage in the comments. From there, the live just tends to sort of flow from there. But yeah, it's like the first 10 minutes if you guys can help with that. Yeah, I get it. The weekend. Well, yeah, no, today's Friday. Yeah. I sometimes forget what day it is because I don't have a typical 9 to 5 Monday through Friday type of job. I have clients that I have some weeks every day where I'll have them Saturday, Sunday, and of course the week. And then obviously I do this. So yeah, I sometimes don't know. I sometimes don't know what date it is. For not doing your dishes. I wish I can say something to help you out there, but I am by far the biggest procrastinator ever. I put off doing everything. So I can tell you to not. But I'd be pretty hypocritical. Thank you, Deflating. Again, guys, make sure you send in your heart me, please. You guys can all send in your heart me's. That would be great. There's 74 people in here. I expect 74 heart me's. One down, 73 more heart me's to go. Hello, Johnny. How are you doing? There we go, guys. You guys are getting the likes up now. I like it. Usually a good pace that I think that is very reasonable when we have all these guests and all that stuff in the live is to go at 50,000 likes per hour. Hey, Tracy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I guess you got invited up from the comments. Oh, I see your comment right now. How old are you after TikTok terms of service?
I am 52.
All right. And you having a good day, Tracy?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, no complaints. It's raining out. It has been raining out all day, so it's a little gloomy, but I'll survive, I suppose. So I see a comment that says, I am MAGA, and I don't hate any of the mentioned communities you have listed. So I assume, obviously, you voted for Trump in this recent election, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. How do you think he's doing so far?
I think he's doing pretty good. I don't agree with some of the things that are happening with ICE. Some of it, I think they're going a little overboard on some things, but overall, I was raised in a Christian home. I was raised to love everybody. I don't I don't hate any of those ones you've listed. I don't hate immigrants. I think people should come here legally. When they sneak over here, it's wrong because you can't do that in another country. All countries have laws when it comes to coming into a country. There was a girl here just on the news a couple of days ago. She moved to Canada because she's mad at America and she can't get the health care in Canada because she's not a citizen there. So it's no different no matter, she went legally, that's different, but people that come over here and sneak across the border the wrong way, that's what I don't agree with. Come over here the right way. Open arms. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, but here's the issue with that. Now, people say, hey, do it the right way, and it'll be great. But then when they seek asylum, for example, which is still, quote-unquote, the right way in a certain scenario, that seems to be discouraged or frowned upon as well, that there are asylum seekers coming here.
There's still steps you have to do when seeking asylum.
You do, but it's still... You do, but it's still quote unquote the right way though. But they still get criticism from the right. Even
I don't think you should be criticized when you're coming over here seeking asylum, but when you sneak over here in the middle of the night, sneak in, that's where I have an issue. Okay, that's where I think is an issue because you sneak over here, you lie about your work, you get worked under the table, you don't pay taxes. That's what I have an issue with. Yeah,
but here's the thing. No, I don't know any Democrat that is proposing or advocating that people should just come here illegally. That seems to be a rhetoric that's pushed by the right. But can you name a single Democrat that has proposed that? Can you name a single Democrat that has proposed that we should have illegal immigrants here and that we shouldn't deport them? Just one?
The Biden administration did open the borders for them to come in. That was something that they did.
What do you mean they opened the borders? What does that mean?
They were freely able to come in.
How so?
They didn't have to worry about they even
which law did they? Which law? So I'm curious as to what law they amended, took away, or added. What policy changed for the border to be quote unquote open? Well, because I hear often that the border was open when Biden was president. Okay, so what policy changed to make that occur? What law was?
He didn't have to make a policy. He just allowed them to come in. And
what do you mean he allowed them? But all the data shows otherwise. But he did
going through steps.
But that wasn't any different under Biden.
Oh my gosh.
I understand this is red. I know, but this is the thing that I'm talking about. This is propaganda pushed by the right, and then when I push you on it, you don't have an answer. You just say, "Oh my gosh."
No, that's not what I'm saying. You know what? You're right. I'm wrong. I'm stupid.
I'm not saying that.
Right. I'm an idiot. No, because anything I say,
Tracy, we're having a conversation. But Tracy, the moment I push you, you can't get like this. I'm just pushing you on something. I'm challenging you.
Okay. The borders have always been closed. You can't just freely walk in and walk out anytime you want. That's not how it's been.
You're right, and that wasn't any different. That was not any different under Biden. It just wasn't.
Yeah,
can you provide me any data to show that that's true? He removed a higher percentage of immigrants than Trump did in his first term.
He did
yes,
not.
This is according to the Department of Homeland Security. Deported a higher percentage of immigrants than Trump did in his first term.
Obama is the one that is.
We're not talking about Obama. Yeah, we're not talking about Obama.
Deported. Biden did not have that many numbers deported. No.
If I show you the data, will you say I'm wrong? Or will you say that you're wrong?
I'm not even going to talk to you.
You don't. But I can show you the data. I can show you the data. Don't you want to learn a new? God damn it! What the fuck? You don't want to learn a new thing? Fuck. We were having a very nice conversation, right? I wasn't acting like a dick to her. I asked her how her day was going. We were being friendly. We were having a conversation. I wasn't being mean to her whatsoever. I was being very cordial. The moment that she said something, and I think it's fair that I push back on it if you make a claim, yeah, I think I don't know why she reacted that way. And guys, I am looking for opposition. Emily, are you in opposition? I see you in the request. Were you in opposition? Batman, what's up?
Hi. Sorry. So I'm not MAGA, but I do disagree with one of your aspects of your prompt. May I?
Okay.
I'm an independent, but
Yeah, just what's your age?
26.
Okay, cool. And what is it you disagree with?
I do disagree with. Now I don't hate them, but I do disagree with the lifestyle of LGBTQ.
What lifestyle is it? Because I can have the same lifestyle as someone who is gay or trans. A lifestyle is just how you go about your life. I think. Are you talking about sexuality or gender?
Well, I would say that is a lifestyle. I don't think
How?
attraction is Well, I'm
So
explaining.
so
I don't
my
think.
gender is a lifestyle.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but
Okay. What is how many?
as
So
far as
sorry, I just wanted. So you're saying being trans is a lifestyle?
I would say that I do think it's a lifestyle under my definition, but I don't mean
Okay.
any harm by that. But
Well, okay. So
I'm
what
a
do you?
philosophical
Yeah,
person, so
that's fine. So what do you mean by it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So what do you mean by lifestyle?
I just think, like, for one, I don't think attraction is a controllable, but I do think
Mm-hmm.
anything after that is controllable. So in my framework, I do think everyone, hetero or not, your sexuality is a choice. But I go by natural law theory.
Choice in the sense that you control your innate sexual urges, or that you are choosing the action to act upon them. Because those are two different things.
Choosing. Well, I'm saying anything outside of, just to be clear here, anything outside of like a chemical reaction as far as attraction is concerned, I would say, yeah, that's a choice. Yes, anything other than that. Like, you don't have a choice whether when you look at someone you get attracted to them, but you do have a
Right.
choice to act on that, or not.
Right, we all have
something.
choices to act on whatever, right? So yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah, so I go by natural law theory. It's just the framework that immaterial laws such as laws of logic are found in the universe. We can find the objective moral law within our entity itself, within the purpose of our entity. So, for example, the purpose of your eye is to see. The purpose of your reproductive system is to reproduce. If you, in order to be a rational agent under that framework, you don't have to, for example, reproduce. Or exercise that teleological predicate there, but you do have to act in accordance with this purpose to not put it at higher risk than average of destruction or anything like that. And think of like a nun, for example. The three overarching moral obligations would be to be a communal person to other human entities, take care of animals and the planet.
Got it. All right.
So-
All right. So relating it back to, I guess, so what's your theory I guess, when it comes to, I guess, trans people, like, using, I guess, your natural law theory? What is it that you mean by that?
Well, I don't agree with it, the whole like identifying and things like that. But as far as like care goes and changing themselves or transitioning or things like that, I have no problem in this framework against like nail polish or certain haircuts that would affirm your gender. But I do have problems that would anything that would disrupt the purpose of your nature. Such as medication.
But people have
But
sex
it's
for all
not
sorts
just
of
trans.
But people have sex for all sorts of reasons, right? Like, sure, one of the reasons is to reproduce. Another reason is because it just feels really fucking good, right? And so, like, why would that inherently be a bad thing if two gay people are having sex, or two trans people are having sex, whatever the case might be? Are you insinuating that's a bad thing, or somehow harmful?
Well, to answer, mind you, this framework applies to even heterosexual actions as well, such as like oral sex. I think a lot of that is sodomy, things like that. So it's not just against LGBT. It's nothing personal. But as far as like,
are you
yes,
saying it's a
you
bad
can-
thing though? Are you saying it's a
What?
bad thing if people don't reproduce?
No, like I said in the framework, if you don't want to reproduce, that's fine, but you still have to act in accordance with this purpose. You can't put this purpose, for example, at higher risk than average, things of that nature.
What do you mean higher than
so-
average? What does that mean?
Higher than average than the state of your being itself, like existentially. Or like ontologically as well, I guess.
Can you explain that a little bit differently? I'm not sure what you mean by that putting it higher than yourself in terms of
No,
doing something
putting it
that's
at
not, quote,
higher
unquote, natural.
risk. Yeah, so for example, I would say like if you're a virgin and you, let's say like out, in this hypothetical, you don't do anything to, you're just, a regular person, you're just walking around, you don't use public restrooms, anything like that, right? Having SMEX or engaging in SMEX would put your this purpose at higher risk than average for your everyday lifestyle. So I'm saying, as
What
far as like the makeup of the human entity,
would put what
so
at
long as
risk? What,
this
hold on.
the
Would put
purpose of
what?
your
What does restrooms have to do with sex?
No, I'm just saying, like, for example, well, I think public restrooms are dirty as fuck, but
They
I
can
was
be.
just an example. It was just an example. Huh?
I said they can be. There might be a small
Yeah.
delay, but yeah. So I'm still a little confused at what your overall point is. It doesn't seem like you have an issue with gay people, and we'll get to trans people in a
No,
moment. But
I'm saying it doesn't act in accordance with this purpose of your nature. That's what I'm saying. So I would be against not only the LGBTQIA lifestyle, but also against certain heterosexual lifestyles
but
as
it's not a
well.
lifestyle, though, right? You're talking about an attraction. A lifestyle is simply just the way somebody lives, right?
Yeah, that's what
Being
I'm
gay,
saying.
but being gay doesn't inherently mean you have any other lifestyle than some other person. Two gay people
Well, it
can have
depends on how
completely different
you.
lifestyles. Also, a straight and a gay person can have very, very similar lifestyles. Only thing be different is their attraction.
Well, I'm talking about simply, and this would also apply, like I said, the framework also applies to heterosexual entities as well, that I debate online sometimes as well. But I'm saying this framework applies to everyone. But yes, your lifestyle is what you choose to do, fitness and health, like wealth building, philosophy, things like that. So this, as far as like the choice itself or how I'm defining it, gay would be a lifestyle and a choice. But because I'm excluding the initial attraction outside of that, because I think
But
you can have
what
a
is it?
chemical reaction to or biological reaction to a lot of things that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay, but what's your overall point with this? Okay, so what? They don't do
Well, I'm
something that's quote
saying,
unquote natural. Like, so what? What are you saying that like gay, like we should discourage people from being gay or bi or
well, I
lesbian or anything
mean,
like
I
that?
do think I wouldn't say discourage necessarily, but I would, like, for example, if my child told me that they were feeling this way, I wouldn't kick them out or say that they couldn't bring their partner over or anything crazy like that. I mean, they'd still be my child. I'd love them.
But
But I would present this framework to them and give them like an option and say, I think rooted in bioethics, this isn't probably good for the purpose of your nature, but
you would have this
uh,
specific conversation if your kid came out. You would have this conversation right here.
I mean, growing up in my household, yeah, my parents were pretty philosophical. This was a norm. It wasn't really like a big deal.
But what does this
Now,
have
my
to?
parents would tell me,
I know,
they would
but
tell me
like,
when they disagree
but
with me, but they wouldn't
don't
like
I
kill
know,
me or
but don't
nothing.
you think if your child went up to you and said, "Hey, I'm," let's say, struggling with these thoughts of whether I'm gay or lesbian, or whatever, don't you think doing whatever you're doing now is going to hurt their mental health? Don't you think you can maybe just say, like, "Hey, that's great, be who you are, whatever it is, I'm fine," etc., etc. Like, I don't see how
A
any other
lot of
answer other than
things.
that is needed.
A lot of things are, I guess, could potentially put them at risk, and it's logically possible what you're saying. But like I said, that's why I would make sure, as long as you, like my parents did, this is what I learned, as long as you allow and comfort your child and let them know that you're not against them personally, and it's just an
But it doesn't sound like you're
objective,
for
like,
it,
perspective.
though. You may say that
I'm
you're not
not,
against them,
well,
but it
there's a
doesn't
lot of
say.
things. I'm not for the color red, but I'm also not against it necessarily. I'm just saying it is. I just look at
Okay,
things
but
objectively.
but the color red is an attraction, and it doesn't affect like the way
No, it's
somebody
not.
is viewed in society. So, but we know, and it could be different in 20, 30 years. Who knows? But currently, if you are part of the LGBT plus community, you are prone, depending what part of the community you're in, you are certainly prone to, at the very least, criticism, sometimes verbal abuse, sometimes sexual abuse, sometimes other harms and things like that. So, by the very nature of your kid potentially being gay or lesbian, they could have a harder life. And I would imagine you would want to do anything that you can as a mother to protect them and to make them feel as welcome as possible. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
I would, but
Yeah.
we would have different views of what that is. I think that's where the disagreement is. We agree that yes, you would have to take care and over and be maternal, all those good things. That's, yeah, of course. But there are in times where you have to tell your children the truth. Now you can still comfort them and tell them that they're all right the way they are, for
But
sure. And I
what's the
don't think I
exact
wouldn't support like
truth?
ostracizing gay people.
And guys, let's tap to 25,000 likes so we can get to a new guest at that point. So keep tapping and sharing, guys. What is the truth that you're telling them that they don't already know?
That it might, for one, that it would be, I would think, undermining their own existence and the rest of society, and I don't think they would be being a rational entity or a communal person. That's all I would say.
How does being gay make you not communal? Being communal just mean you're part of a community. What is that?
Well, how could you be a communal person if you're undermining the very thing that makes your species what it is, or undermining even yourself, like your own purpose? I don't.
But you're not undermining it. Undermining would insinuate that you are doing something actively to make that happen. Being gay is just who you are. There's nothing that you're doing to
that's
make
why I'm saying
yourself
we define
gay.
it.
I know,
Well,
but
okay, so, like,
you
again-
acknowledge though that you're not that nobody is choosing their sexuality. You're saying that they're acting on their
No,
sexuality.
I do think that they choose sexual. Like I said,
But,
I
well,
think
hold on. That's
attraction
not what you said
doesn't.
before, though. That's not what you said before.
No, I never said that attraction is sexual. Like, for example, right, host, like, this happens, and I don't mean this to be crude, this just is objective. Even during grape, you can have certain reactions of like orgasms and things like these are documented, these are real things. Now, I don't think your body reacting a certain way means anything. That's why I'm saying I don't think attraction means much, nor do I give much attention to it. What I give attention to is
why
your
bring up that
choices
example? That was
after.
such a crazy example to bring up. That was just
That's
incredibly
not a
wild.
crazy example. I'm saying that your body. What? How is
It,
that a
it was
crazy example?
it was just a really weird example to bring up.
The
You could've-
argument is rooted in bioethics. I'm just saying biologically this does happen. It's not. I mean,
But what
it
does
does
this have to
happen.
do with being gay? What does that have
Yes,
to do
I'm
with
saying.
being gay?
I know that I'm saying that I never said that your attraction is sexuality because I think I've defined attraction as how your body just chemically reacts, and sometimes that can be out of your control, or even if you're not aware of certain things. So attraction or your body getting whatever doesn't mean much to me. I think the choice is what sexuality is.
So just point blank, are they choosing to be gay? Yes or no, or lesbian or bisexual?
Yes, I think you would choose any sexuality, including being straight. Yes, that would be a choice.
So
yes.
when did you decide that you were going to be straight?
I think 7 years old.
Okay, and what did that conversation with yourself look like?
Well, the household I grew up in, I just analyzed it and I thought it would be disruptive to my purpose. So I was like, nah, I don't think I should do that. Because I do want to be irrational, the best for society and for myself that I can. So.
That's what you told yourself at 7, word for word?
Well, everyone has these internal conversations, whether you're gay or straight. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a choice.
But
So.
I don't think you really answered that. Like, so how did you decide though that you were going to be straight? And
Well,
can
I'm
you
being
choose
funny,
to?
but obviously,
Can
I'm
you
being
choose
funny
your-
a little bit.
Well, hold on one second. David, thank you for the 5 on the blue out with the V. W. David in the comments, it says, hey, Batman, FYI, most likely your kid would know you're not a safe person to tell, so they would just distance themselves from you. And that's probably true, David. W. David in the
I
chat.
mean, I came and told my parents all kinds of vulnerable things too. I knew that they were just subjective and not going to judge me. Yeah, I did agree. To
Okay,
this.
so back to the choosing of the thing. How specifically did you choose to be straight? Like, I don't. You didn't really give an answer. You said you were joking, so I don't know. What
Yeah,
that
I would
means.
say every action is a choice, so therefore it is a choice.
No. The sexuality of being gay or bi or lesbian or whatever. I'm not talking about the act of two men doing stuff with each other. I'm talking about the desire. When did you choose your desire to be
How are you
attracted?
defining? Well, how are you defining desire here? Are you just defining it as attraction? Because I think that's just a chemical thing. I don't really give much
Okay.
precedent to that.
Okay, so this is why I've asked you like 3 different times. Do you choose your sexuality, yes or no? And you've given me different answers.
It depends. Well, because you're using words in my framework that I don't use, or I define them differently. That's why you're so confused, Doug. I'm just saying that I define what you're defining as sexuality. I'm just defining as attraction, I think, because you haven't defined what you mean by sexuality. But I
Okay,
just,
but
in my framework, go by.
we can use those words interchangeably. I don't see how they're that much different that we can't use them
Not really.
interchangeably.
If the person defines it differently, then you couldn't use it interchangeably. Sorry,
Okay,
Doug,
I will
sorry.
use. I will use.
I'm not trying to fuck with you.
Okay, I'll use the word attraction then. Can somebody choose to be attracted to another sex if they're not already attracted to them? or vice
Well,
versa?
we've already, yeah, I think that's just a chemical. We've already been through that.
Okay,
No, not necessarily.
but so you're saying it's a chemical reaction, and I at the very base level it probably is.
But when you say
how do
that
you
you
choose
are
that? How do you
gay-
choose that chemical reaction? How do you tell like your body like, hey, I'm gonna make this chemical reaction? Sure, look, where's that
Well,
happening?
you can't choose, obviously, Doug. You can't choose a chemical reaction. What I'm saying, though, is that when you say I am gay or that person is gay, that you're being gay or whatever, you're saying that that's your being on an existential level. This is what you're identifying as. It's part of your entity. Right. So when that's like when you make it an identity, you have chosen that. That's a choice. So yes, it would be a choice to say that
You're
you
not.
are
Oh
a
my
gay
God! I
person.
think you're purposely just being combative or
No, I'm really
contradicting me.
trying to explain. No,
I-
I'm
like, I
saying
don't-
that attraction is separate to me in my framework from sexuality, and you're just not.
Okay,
hearing
but
me or listening to me.
you are not choosing that attraction, right? Okay, somebody saying, "Hey, I am gay." Okay, that's a choice to say those words to yourself. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about the base level attraction. That's not being chosen, right?
Like how your body reacts.
I don't know why you have such trouble answering this question.
I mean, there's
Just answer this
No,
question
I'm-
like we're two normal people on a street having a conversation. Stop doing the whole Phil bro
We're
thing.
having a deep-
I
we're
know.
having a
Just
deep
answer. Like,
philosophical
are
conversation.
you? Is somebody choosing that attraction? Yes or no? Consciously.
it's a chemical function. So
That's
no.
not answering the question. Are they?
I
choosing
just
the attraction?
answered it. I just said so. No, it's a chemical reaction. So
Okay.
no, I just said
okay.
that.
So there. But then why did you say yes before? You keep giving me different answers. Okay. So
No,
if they're
I'm
not.
saying the attraction itself is not a. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so if they're not
Yeah.
choosing it, then why is it that you would frame it as like a bad thing that they are doing though, or that
Because
they're
I
going
don't
against
think
nature?
I'm separating attraction from sexuality in this framework host. I've been saying that. So your initial action or how you buy out, that's fine. I don't think that's a choice. But what is a choice is sexuality, which is how you live your life. This is how I'm defining it. And so when you say that you are gay or you're engaging in these acts, that under natural law theory that it would violate whether heterosexual or gay, I think that is morally impermissible. That's what I'm saying.
But okay, and it's because you can't reproduce.
No, it's because you're not acting in accordance with the purpose in your nature. If you don't want to reproduce, that's fine. I said think of a nun.
What do you mean
still
in the
have to meet
purpose
the
of your
three
nature,
overarching-
though? What do you mean by in the
Holy
purpose of
sh-
the?
just
I don't
went through
understand.
this, host.
No, you keep giving me different answers though. What do you mean
I
by in
gave you the
accordance of the?
whole
Because you were
framework of
talking
natural
about
law theory.
Okay. What is it that is they're going against their quote unquote nature that is a bad thing of just being gay?
You're asking me what's like the purpose of their nature or what's wrong with it, like violating
I'm
this?
just because you're just saying they're going against their nature, the purpose.
I'm
of
just
their
asking
nature.
which question is being asked of me so I can answer it, and so you can, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering what is it that what is it within the nature of they are doing or not doing that you find to be immoral?
So I'm saying that, for example, like reproductive system, the teleological predicate of their or end goal of their reproductive system is to reproduce. So when they are acting in order to be rational under this framework, you have to act in accordance with the purpose within your entity. So
Okay, but some
if
game.
you're
Hold on. Okay, I get
literally
it. It's
acting in a way,
okay, so they can't reproduce. Okay, so and you said you would
it's
apply
not
this to
because they
straight.
can't reproduce. It's
Then
because
why
they're
do you
not
keep
acting in
saying
accordance with
that?
It's because they're not acting in accordance with their purpose, host. I've said that multiple times.
Their purpose to reproduce.
Oh my God. They don't have the purpose to reproduce. I'm saying they have to act in accordance with the purpose within their nature. If they don't want to reproduce, that's totally fine. They still have to meet the three overarching moral obligations of being a communal entity to other humans and animals and the earth. Think of a nun. You don't have to have children, but you do have still three overarching moral obligations to society. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's just a
How do you know
bonus.
how do you know what their purpose is? Why are you dictating that?
It's
for them?
bioethics. We can just see it through observation and perception and science. It's just bioethics. It's
Okay, so
rooted
you
in
can
your biology.
so you can tell them exactly what their purpose is in life.
I can tell them the purpose that's built within their entity, and if this theory is that the moral objective law can be found within the entity of humans itself, That's the fucking framework, Doug.
I understand that, but you're just trying to do the whole Phil Bro thing, and it just gets very aggravating when we're having a conversation about this. You already said that it's not necessarily a bad thing if somebody doesn't reproduce. So I just don't understand then your overall point. If you don't think it's a bad thing, why are we going through this whole rigmarole thing?
Because I do think it's a bad thing to not act in accordance with your purpose. That's what you don't have to have babies. You don't even have to have sex your whole life. You still have to act in accordance with this purpose. And it's literally what your doctor tells you. The purpose of your heart is to pump blood. So you should take care of that theological predicate of your heart, which is to pump blood. You should exercise.
But it's not immoral, though. But it's not immoral. Hold on. But if you don't take care of your heart, it's not immoral.
Who says who? What's the argument for that?
You may be physically harming yourself, but what's immoral about that? If I decide not to work out or something and my health goes to shit, I mean, what's specifically immoral about that?
It's irrational, but if you're saying that it's not immoral, like the statement you just made and the positive claim, you'd have to provide an argument.
Well, no, I'm not.
Because I've already told you why it's immoral.
No, I don't need to make the argument that it's not immoral. If we're talking about
you just said it's not. You just said
I don't think just because you choose not to act.
Okay, so what's the argument for that? That it's not. You're not even internally critiquing the framework. You're just saying nuh-uh. So what's the argument?
I'm not saying nuh-uh. I am saying I don't believe that's a moral thing at all, to take care of your heart or not, or to reproduce or not.
Okay, so like for example, like what if you had a kid? Do you think it is immoral for someone to like not take care of themselves so their kid can be left without a mother or father? Do you think that's immoral?
If they don't take care of themselves?
Yeah, like if you think if a 5-year-old kid, right, and there's this only parents is their daddy, right?
Yeah.
And you think it's immoral for them to do that, right?
Sure, there's certain.
Wait. Let me expound.
I understand what you're trying to get at, but this wouldn't be applicable to everybody.
If human nature is intrinsically connected, then you have a moral obligation not only to someone who is biologically connected to you, but to all of society. So that's why it's wrong, because you're not acting rational. No, I don't think it's wrong.
No, I don't think it's wrong. Obviously, of course, if you have a kid, yes, it would be a good idea that you stay around to help them out. No duh. All right, but I'm not applying it to everybody. Okay, but that's not applicable to every single person.
Don't you think there's a lot of kids that need help worldwide? Don't we all have moral obligations to those children?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, though. I'm not talking about taking care of the kid. All I am saying is
outside of you having a child. So I'm saying, okay,
you're simply just saying our organs have a purpose, and if you don't act on that purpose of them, then it's immoral. I just disagree.
I'm saying if you don't act in accordance with that purpose, it is immoral. Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by in accordance with the purpose? Because you said specifically that you don't care if somebody reproduces or not, right? So I just want to know what you mean by in accordance of.
Yeah, meaning acting with or flowing with, not going against the grain of this purpose. Does that make sense? I think that's pretty. I think you already knew that, host. Act in accordance with, like, come on.
But as far as the end result goes,
act in accordance with me, bro. Like,
but as far as the end result goes, you don't care if they reproduce or not.
They still have to. Yeah, I don't care if they reproduce. They still have to act in accordance with this purpose, bro. I've literally used a nun as an example.
Well, I do got one more thing to quickly to say. One of the guests disliked you so much that they paid to kick you. So.
Okay, but.
Give me 1 second. David, thank you so much. I was just getting really. I just really dislike Phil Bros. If you guys can't tell, they really bother me. It seems like it distracts us from the conversation that we're having. Anyways, David, yeah, thank you for the 20 on the blue out with a V. It just says, once in a while, Batman needs to be reminded that around here, Superman outranks some. Goodbye, Batman. Thank you, David. I appreciate you. Emily, what's going on? You're friendly, right?
Hi. No, I do disagree with one of the things.
Oh, okay. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. And what do you disagree with?
I do disagree. I agree with the last guest. I'm not going to lie. I do disagree with the LGBT.
What do you disagree with specifically?
Well, I think it goes against the purpose of your nature. So,
Are we going to do the same
so I
fucking
just think-
conversation again? We're not
It's
going
just
to.
immoral, bro. You thought you were gonna run from the.
We're not
debate,
going to
bro.
do the
That's
same
actually sad,
conversation
Doug.
again. Well, you're going to get blocked then.
Dougie,
Then you're
don't
going to
run.
get blocked. Then you're going to get blocked. I am sorry. When you get kicked, you get kicked. Fucking wild. Like I'm not going to go through this whole Philbro thing if at the end of the day you don't care if they reproduce or not. If you don't care that they reproduce or not, we're not going to do this whole fucking Philbro thing. It's just we could have gone so much further in the conversation if you just didn't do that bullshit. God made us and doesn't make mistakes. Exactly. Yep. So there are gay people, trans people, all sorts of people. And God made them, right? But no, I don't think if somebody like so if you're saying that there's a purpose for our heart to do X, Y, Z, or there's a purpose for our reproductive system to do X, Y, or Z, yes, certainly there's going to be certain contexts. If you're talking about taking care of a kid, sure, obviously there's going to be a moral obligation to do so. But I would say within yourself, I don't think there's a moral obligation to act on what your purposes of your organs are. Do what the fuck you want with your body. I don't give a shit. If you want to drink a gallon a day of whatever the hell and inhale 30 packs a day, go for it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Okay. Well, Batman, you're obviously not going to come up. When you get paid to kick, you're done. That's it. End of story. Okay? Now, unfortunately, if you do request again, I will block you. Alright? Now, let's have somebody else come on up. Erica, you can pop on up here. Guys, keep tapping and sharing. We are looking for opposition. If you disagree with the background prompt, come on up. What's up, Erica? Were you listening to that last guest?
No, I've literally just walked through.
It was just a whole fucking goddamn Philbro thing of talking about gay people and reproducing, and it was very, very fucking aggravating. I was getting annoyed personally, but...
How many different types of fallacy did they accuse you of engaging in?
Actually, that not really. They were saying that you have to act within the purpose of, I guess, your organ. I'm not going to be able to repeat it word for word, but your organs have a purpose. You know, certain things within your body have a purpose, and it's your moral obligation to act within according to what those organs do. It was a weird argument. It was an odd argument, really.
So sorry, Buzz is sitting on my lap and making noises. Why does that include like redundant organs like the appendix?
Yeah, that would have been a good question for her, I suppose. But it was weird because she said she doesn't care if somebody reproduces or not, but she still... I don't know. I was having a hard time grasping what she was saying because it seems like she was sort of going back and forth. She gave me 3 or 4 different answers of whether being gay is a choice or not. Really.
Oh.
I bet you this is going to be her. Because she already tried to go back up under a different account. Hey guys, keep tapping and sharing. Appreciate all the likes so far, guys. Let's try to get to 50K if possible. What's up, Crumb?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I mean, a good point to argue against.
I just need to know your age.
Hold on. I
just need to know your age real quick.
I'm 28.
Okay, what's up?
All right, so she was saying, or I don't know what they, probably she considering. All right, she was saying that it goes against your natural purpose to like, to be gay, right? Which doesn't make any sense because, like, I mean, no one has a purpose, but like,
well, she was trying to impose a
purpose
purpose upon others, yeah, which I disagreed with.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't make any sense because I mean everything is like.
Are you opposition, by the way? Is there something that you disagree with?
No.
Okay.
No.
I really am just looking for debates, like slash opposition. Plus, I can hear you in the car. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring you down to the comments though. But have a good day, guys. Please try not to drive when you're doing this. If you do, just make me not hear it, please. Make me not aware.
That's why I teleport.
Ignorance is bliss. Yes. If I don't know, then I don't know. But don't make it obvious. That's all I'm asking. All right. Mods, let's try to invite people up that appear to be opposition. This is the part of the live, unfortunately, where things like, if we don't get a guest, it just seems to die out, unfortunately. So, oh yeah, people on the tube, you guys can call in. I need to put the phone number there. Give me 1 second. I'll put the phone number on up.
Oh, Matt's being spicy in the comments because I couldn't do his show today because I was at a comedy show. And now he's in
No,
the
his thing is
comments
more
all
important,
back
though.
saying-
His is more important.
Saying, Erica, no, I was at a comedy show. It's not more important than taking my mum for a night out to watch a comedian that she really enjoys. So, and I got the tickets for free because I know all the promoters. So come on.
How did
I know,
how did he do?
spicy. He was very, very good. But the guy who was emceeing, I fucking hate him.
Why did you hate him?
He's just a really arrogant prick. And I
Good
don't
reason.
like
That's a
him.
good reason to hate somebody. That's fair. When's the last time you did any stand-up?
Oh God. I haven't done any for about a year, but I have a gig booked in April. So
Yeah.
it'll either be
good.
me getting back on the horse or me choosing no longer to ride horses.
What comedian? Yeah, people want to know the name of the
Okay,
comedian, I guess.
so if anyone is okay, his name is Spencer Jones, and he's kind of surrealist physical humor, which is weird because it's not something I normally enjoy. But if anyone's ever watched the TV show Upstart Crow, it's a BBC TV show, and it's basically a comedy based around the life of Shakespeare. He plays one of the like band of actors in that as well. He's very funny.
Let me just see. Is this him? Give me 1 second. God damn it! There we go. Is this him?
That is him, yeah.
Hell yeah! There we go. He is Googleable. Good stuff.
He is Googleable. I'm Googleable, Doug. If you knew my last, well, you do
Oh,
know
are
my
you?
last name, I think.
How are you?
I'm Googleable.
Oh, he's got a decent following on TikTok or Instagram. 20K. Nice.
The kids at school Google me all the time, and they're like, "Did you used to be a comedian?" Yeah, I used to be a comedian.
Back in the good old days.
Back in the day.
Oh gosh. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. If you disagree with the background prompt on TikTok, hit the request button. If you're watching on the tube, call in that number, please. $244,000 on IG. That is a lot of followers. That's true.
I have virtually none on IG.
Yeah, I
Probably a
don't really
couple
have
of
much
hundred.
either. This is the only platform where I have like any like sizable amount, really. Although I am trying to grow the tube, but that is going to take some time. That's a funny comment.
Was
People
that
u-
Nigel?
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. People used to laugh when I said I was going to be a comedian.
Oh, shit,
They're
that's really
not
good.
laughing now.
That's such like a corny joke, sort of, but it's funny. It's good. Where's the goddamn opposition at? God damn it, you guys are frustrating.
I scared them all off, Doug. I'm just too funny.
No,
and
it's
clever.
just my life in particular has been so. Cause I always do this, and I do it to myself, where I stop being as consistent with my lives. I stop posting, and it just really seems to affect like the live streams, the algorithm itself. It just seems to not want to push me out for whatever reason when I stop being as consistent and I stop posting. So I kind of do it to myself.
Nigel's right. That was a Bob Monkhouse joke.
It was good. I liked it.
Monkhouse. You guys probably don't know who that is, but
I don't know who that is.
Bob Monk. No, he's a British comedian. He was elderly when I was young, He died like a number of years ago. But
Gotcha.
he had like books and books and books and books of jokes that he'd written, and he could just make he could make a joke about anything.
You can pretend to be a reformer. No, that never works. Pretending to be whatever.
So Nigel, shall I tell Doug the what is it, Gorton and Denton by-election news? Here you go, Doug. Here's some political news for you.
Sure. What's up?
So there was a by-election, which is what we call a special election, in one of the Manchester constituencies yesterday. And it was a safe Labour seat. They won it by about 13,000 votes, which is quite a lot to win a constituency by. Yesterday, the Green Party, who have never won a by-election in the entirety of their history, they have 4 MPs in Parliament. They've just got their 5th. So they beat Reform, came in 2nd place. Labour came just behind Reform in terms of votes in 3rd. Our next election is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's
No,
going
sounds
to be
like
crazy. I have no clue who I'm going to vote for in the next election. But I also don't think I should know who I'm going to vote for in the next election, like 3 years out from now.
No. That's way too far out to know. Way too far out. YouTubers, call in the phone number. It's there in the comment section. It's 813-603-8878. If you guys want to call in, we can have a good conversation. And TikTok, just hit the request button. Come on. Yeah, 3 years out is a far time. We don't. I mean, here obviously we have no idea who the fuck is going to be the Democrat nominee.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be Newsom. I don't know. It's really hard to say who it would be.
But
really
you
predict.
really only have, really in the United States, you really only have 2 choices. Yeah, you could vote for like the Russian Asset Green Party, or you could vote for, the Libertarians, or like an independent candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have there are, I don't know, 5 party, like 5 or 6. Like big-ish, because we've got Conservative, Reform on the right, Liberal Democrats in the middle, Labour, the Greens, and then a ton of, if you're in Northern Ireland, a ton of parties there. You've got Plaid Cymru in Wales, you've got the SNP in Scotland. There are 13 political parties represented.
That's a lot. That'd be nice to have that over here. There would be far less division, in my opinion.
And Nigel's quite right. I know who I'm not voting for.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Nigel. I know who I'm not voting for.
I may do a restart here on TikTok in a minute or two, guys. Yeah, I don't know though as far as here. It's hard to say because there's just nobody like super likable. I can see that would be the nominee for Democrats. I like who would it realistically be?
Well, you don't right. Just remember, like 2 years before Obama's nomination, nobody knew who Obama was. Right?
You are right.
You
are right. Yeah.
Nobody had a clue who he was. And it's not. Trump has like moved the dial so much. If this were any other person, if this were any other Republican president right now, you wouldn't know who the you wouldn't know who the Democrats were gonna have as their candidate in the next election. And if it were Democrats, normally you wouldn't know who the Republicans were gonna have.
No, you're right.
It's
That's
just
true.
that
That's true.
Donald Trump has just been constantly campaigning for like
Forever,
I don't know,
it seems. It really seems forever. It feels like an eternity. No, you're right. You're right. People didn't know who Obama really was until a couple years prior. I've thought about that. So there could be somebody who comes out of the woodworks, but I don't know. I like somebody mentioned James Tallarico. Obviously, he's running for Senate now, but if he loses to Crockett, then... But he hasn't really held any political... he hasn't held a position in politics before, though. I mean, obviously that's not...
Donald
No,
Trump.
that's what I was about to say. So I don't think that's really needed as much anymore. But, you know, I don't know. No, I would like for her to beat him as well. But I can see him being likable to, like, moderate conservatives.
I think, right. I like her better than I like him, but I think if you want to win Texas, he's the person to do it. Like,
Well, I agree.
unfortunately,
I agree. Yeah. No, you're right. It is unfortunate, but she is very, very different than him. Obviously, like in terms of her rhetoric and everything like that. She's more exciting, a hell of a lot more exciting. But you're right. In Texas, a white man has a better chance. Obviously.
well, not just a white man, but a
White Christian man.
Christian pastor. Like, you know,
He would do well. You're right. He would do well. Yeah. But no, I mean I doubt he would try to run for president though if he lost in this race. But I don't know. I could see Pete Buttigieg potentially being the nominee. While I don't love him, I have issues with some things about him. He's rather likable and all of that. But
you know what? I'm just going back to speaking about this comedy that I went to see earlier. It was very interesting. Nobody's making jokes about the current situation in politics in this country. But a lot of them were making jokes about Liz Truss, our Prime Minister that lasted like a shorter time than a lettuce. There were lots of... And it seems like people are a bit cagey about joking about our politics right now, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, Pete Buttigieg is too corporate. Yeah, no, I agree, but we have to kind of talk about within the framework of what's sort of realistic in our current political system and society. Obviously, someone who's super far left, unfortunately, it just wouldn't work out, at least right now. But
whoever said Boris Johnson seemed to be more juvenile than Trump, I disagree with that. I don't think anyone is more juvenile than
Infectious, you can come out real quick. I'll probably do a restart, though, after this, just to give everybody a heads up on TikTok. YouTube, I'll not restart. What's up, Infectious?
Hey, Doug. I figured I'd join up. I wanted to join like a half an hour ago when whatever the hell was in here.
Yeah.
What she was talking about, just for future reference, because this is not the first time I've heard her do that, bioethics and what she was talking about are not the same thing.
Okay. So what
she was talking about
give me a little more insight. That helps.
Quite honestly, eugenics.
Is that what she was sort of
Bioethics is a field of study.
Mm-hmm.
Bioethics is a field of study that kind of it tries to balance ethics with medical advancement. Right? A lot of trials happened after the Nuremberg trials for all the illegal experiments they were doing.
Yeah.
And they came up with a field of study right around the 1970s that was called bioethics. And bioethics, basically, it corners itself on, what are the four pillars of it? It's like patient autonomy, ethical use of biotechnology, the definition of death, societal issues, that kind of stuff. When she starts talking about the natural purpose, that's eugenics talk. That's the exact same kind of talk that Adolf's fans used against the LGBTQIA community during the 30s and 40s. That's eugenics. What she's talking about is eugenics. She's trying to dress it up in a pretty word called bioethics to make it sound legitimate.
Yeah,
that's all she's doing.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a heads up on that, so if you ever confront her again, because I've heard her do this argument before.
Okay. Yeah, Paige, you were asking what her username was. Something Batman. She has like a little Batman profile picture.
It was like I am the
exactly.
Batman, and then the other one was
Yeah.
Emily.
Gosh, yeah.
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 So, but I'll drop down, let you do the restart,
Okay.
man. I just wanted to kind of key up on
No,
that
for
one.
sure. I appreciate it, man. Good seeing you. Take care. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna do a
No problem. Nice
restart.
seeing you, bud.
I'll do a restart real quick. All right. Again, the tube. I'm not gonna restart. But I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. Okay. So I'm gonna end it, and then I will be back. Now, in the meantime, I will talk to the YouTube comments, since you guys seem to like that at times. Lifts, bro, you can't even carry a coherent rebuttal. Well, yeah, if a guest comes on up, we can, I can certainly rebut something. I'm sorry you don't like my username, though. But if you need a personal trainer, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. It sounds like you need a little bit of help. I'm happy to train you to help you reach your fitness goals. Hello, TikTokers. How you guys doing? And David, yeah, I meant 100K an hour. I don't know why I was saying 50K an hour. 100K is very, very reasonable. 50K a half hour likes. Yeah, once again, guys, if you disagree with anything I have on screen, why don't you grow a pair? Or if you currently have a pair, maybe size them up a little bit and come on up and, you know, debate on the very things that you feel like I have no facts on. All right. What use is it to sit in a corner all day saying, hey, you don't have facts, and then never be able to confirm such statement? That really wouldn't do a whole lot of good now, would it? Or just grow one, yeah. All you have to do is think really hard and you can grow one. Hey, guest, how you doing? Are you there? I don't know. You're loading or something. I don't know what's going on here. All right. We'll just re-request. I don't know what happened there. Eric, I'll bring you up in a minute. Let me just see if I can get a guest real quick. But yeah, what's up, guys? Keep tapping. Let's try to get the like sign up, okay? Yeah, remember, as I was saying before, the beginning of the live seems to be pretty important to getting the live off to a good start. Yeah, I just need to be more consistent with the lives. I can't have like multiple days off like I've been having, and I gotta post every day. That's one of the big things. Anti-Semitism, if it comes on up. Oh, I got you, Erica. Well, the guest was up, but I don't really know what happens. I am a PT Raven, yes, personal trainer. I do the gym stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. A Lithby clown, sure. You know, it's really odd. No one ever in person has ever told me I have had a lisp. It only seems to come from the worst of the worst YouTube commenters who just make shit up to make themselves feel better. G. Will, are you there? Are you there? Okay, is this going to be the second one that I bring up and it doesn't load? If so, it may be a problem with my computer, unfortunately, and I may have to restart yet a fucking again. Are you guys there? That's never a day in my life if I don't have a fucking problem with the computer. Are any of you guys there? Cool. Alright, guys, we may be looking at a second restart. Yeah. Alright, Erica, I'll bring you on up. Watch, it's gonna work for Erica. Watch. Nope, it's not. It's not. It's just not loading. Nope. Wonderful, guys. We have to do yet another restart. I don't know what's happening. I don't think it's a TikTok thing. I think it's a me thing. Alright. I will try to bring this guest up one more time. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to have to restart. Yes, it is a me thing, for sure. All right, restart. Nice. We'll love it when that happens. When will I be begging for money? Only the times where it pisses you off. That will be the times I will beg for money. Just because it really, really gets under your skin that I do something that I enjoy and I happen to get money for it. I know it really angers you guys, but maybe you can just do something you enjoy as well and you won't be so fucking angry anymore. All right, guys, keep tapping and sharing. All right, I need to see real quickly if the guest thing works. If not, it's not really worth going through this whole rigmarole again. So if somebody just wants to request real quick just to make sure it works. Just some friendly or whatever. All right, let's see if it works. No. All right. Well, clearly there's something wrong, guys. So yes, it is not working. Obviously, it's not the internet because we're here live right now. All right, so I may have to go live on my phone. I know you guys can see it, but it's not working on my end. So I'm gonna just go on my phone for now. So I'm going to end this. We're going to go live yet again, guys. All right, YouTubers, I'm going to figure out what to do with you. I think I know what I can do. Oh god, I haven't gone live on my phone in forever. I don't even remember how to do this shit. Alright, I need to somehow choose a background, and I don't even remember at all where my backgrounds are. Where the fuck are my backgrounds? Oh, here we go. Alright, let's try this out. People on the tube, I don't quite know how I am going to make this work for you guys because I'm just live on my phone at the moment. Alright, I need to put my headphones on because the rain is incredibly loud right now and incredibly annoying. Alright, let's go back to the phone. Alright, we are back. Again, I don't really know what to do with the tubers. I guess I'll keep you guys here, and just once I get a guest up, you'll have to hear it from my phone. For now. Guess I can just take this into the office, I suppose. All right, everyone on the tube, hello. Inflation is down. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. It seems like some people don't know this. You can measure inflation. It's not one of these things that you just guess. Like if something's high, like a price, you don't just say inflation's high. Like you can track it. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but you can track inflation. It's a number that can be tracked. Okay. And of course, if things were cheaper, like groceries, then we would be in deflation. It would be negative inflation. That would insinuate such thing. Hey guys, on TikTok, I hope you guys are all doing well. If you guys can start tapping and sharing, that would be great. All right, tap and share. Make sure you guys send in your heart me's. Sorry that we had to restart so many times. I apologize. Hopefully we can get through this. But I unfortunately have the feeling that since I restarted so many times, it's just not going to want to do my thing. I am, Eric. I have to because it wasn't working on my computer. And I'm sure I could have restarted and it would have been fine. But yes, I am on my phone at the moment. What's up, Snitch? How are you? I'm hanging in there, I suppose. Frustrated with technology as always. I'm doing okay. My workout routine is going pretty well, Snitch. I'm doing a very minimalist routine, just because I don't have the motivation to be going to the gym as much as I used to. So right now I'm doing like very minimalist routine where I'm just doing a full body twice a week, and I'm actually getting pretty good results. It's a full body twice a week, low volume, higher intensity, which is never what I used to do, especially when I first started working out. But I started working out in 2010, and there was not nearly as much research out there in relation to. I love low volume. When I first started working out years ago, it was 2010, and that's when like the YouTube fitness scene just started arising, and it was full of course, bro science. But yeah, I certainly did. I used to do a higher volume and lower intensity, and yeah, I don't even really do that high of a volume, like per muscle group per week. Probably doing about six sets, I would say. Let me think. Well, it depends. For upper body, I'm doing like 4 sets. For chest and back, per week. That's it. Lower body, I think, is like 6 to 8 or something. Do you know Forrest Velka by any chance? Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. You doing a Maha live stream debate? Oh, hell yeah, that'd be great. I'm almost positive I know who you're talking about. All right, guys, keep tapping and sharing. Make sure if you guys disagree with the background, prompt you voted for Trump, hit the guest request button, okay? But yeah, that'll be cool, Snitch. You said it's tomorrow? Or, I don't know. No, I don't think you said that at all. I don't know how I came up with that. When is it? A minimalist workout routine and a discussion on inflation? That's an AI summary. Like, who the fuck is saying that? Monday? Cool. I'm looking forward to that. Any recommendations on easy stomach exercises that can be done at home? By stomach, I would assume that you mean abs. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty that you can do at home without any equipment. You can do lying leg raises, where you're just laying on the floor, you're bringing your legs up 90 degrees, bringing them back down right before they hit the floor, and then repeat. Generally, for someone who's trying to get into shape and starting to work out, those are probably difficult enough. For somebody who's properly trained, advanced or whatever, those would be too easy. But yeah, you can do lying leg raises. You already mentioned crunches. There's a whole bunch of at-home ab exercises. Planks, you can do planks, of course. Although that's an isometric core exercise, but still nonetheless. 6 p.m. Central, cool. But keep in mind, Southern Peach, if you are doing it with the hopes of trying to have a quote-unquote more toned stomach, keep in mind, though, that losing body fat is going to be a byproduct of your diet and not of doing an exercise. Meaning you cannot spot reduce body fat. You can't do a whole bunch of crunches and lose body fat in your stomach area, or you can't do a whole bunch of like bicep curls and specifically lose body fat in that area. So you raise your testosterone up to 29. There you go. Moving on up. All right, so make sure you guys all send in your heart me, and there's a request button there at the bottom of the screen. If you can go ahead and hit that, that'd be great. If you, of course, want to come up and speak on the topic. Just hoping to get a little more strength, and we'll help the on and off end. Well, okay, so if you're just doing it just for like overall just feeling better, less pain type of thing, yeah, I think planks are a great exercise. They can be in certain situations, at least. So yeah, you can try to just beat your time with planks. At some point, you can put a little bit of a weight on your back by doing like a backpack on or something. But yeah, you can do lying leg races and those things. Are roids bad for you? Do they actually help? Of course they help. That's why people take them. People don't take them for no reason. Yeah, they help a lot. However, yes, they are not good for your health. So it's one of those trade-offs that some people make. And if you're on the pro level, it's one of those trade-offs that you have to make. If you're on any pro level of any really sport, you're going to have to choose to take them if you're going to want to be competitive at the risk of your health. No. I get it, Kobe. I get it. Hemorrhoids are also bad. Is YouTube still streaming? It looks like it is, but I think it is. Can cardio help lower blood pressure? Yeah, it can, for sure. It can help assist. All right, let's get to this guest over here. Sorry, guys, I have to do this on my phone. I don't know what's going on with the computer. It's annoying. Hello, Pavzi. I think we spoke before. Oh my gosh, you're talking and I can't hear you. Hold on. What about now?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good. For some reason, my phones aren't attached. I'm doing good. What's up?
I hadn't seen the whole speech, the whole State of the Union address.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering what your thoughts were on the portion of the State of the Union where Trump asks, I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about, but it's where he asked the Democrats or everyone else to stand up. They support American citizens and not illegal aliens.
That's not what he said. That wasn't exactly what he said at all.
It wasn't exactly, but it was. It's actually, I think it was more pointed towards caring for American citizens rather than caring for.
That's still not what he said. He was insinuating that the Constitution is not for anybody but U.S. citizens, which is incorrect. Let's pull up what he said word for word. That way, we're not mincing words. Trump.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think
I could be. There could be some context I'm missing. To be fair, but.
Yeah. What should I type in? Trump State of Union as non-citizens. But yeah, it was in relation to protecting the Constitution and following the Constitution. Does anybody have the quote of what he said word for word? It's going to take me too long to find it. If anybody has it, that would be great. But anyway, so what are you trying to say in regards to it before I find the quote?
Well, I was just kind of curious because from my perspective, it's a pretty bad look on the Democratic Party. It kind of shows, because from what I was seeing, this portion that you were mentioning about the Constitution. Mm-hmm. It could be correct, but from what I was seeing, what my perspective was before is that it sounds like they're basically standing up for not just American citizens. Like their priority isn't American citizens. But is what I was seeing.
But that's not true. Like obviously, whatever the quote was specifically, that like Trump saying that, like he's clearly doing that for like campaign ads and things like that. So it could be like put on like different campaign ads or different like social media posts. Like obviously, like Democrats, any politician, their job is to help people who live in the United States. That's the job of them is to follow the Constitution and to go by that. So and which would include non-citizens at times.
Yes, I agree. I agree. If anything, the priority should be above. It should be American citizens first, and then.
But that's not what's happening. Okay, so if you're insinuating that Democrats don't put U.S. citizens first over non-citizens, can you give me examples of like policies that have went towards that?
I mean, the most obvious is just how much unrest has occurred with ICE. Mind you, ICE hasn't been a great. They haven't rolled out their operations as well as they could have. However, from what I hear from the Democrats, it's a call to abolish ICE rather than to reform it.
Well, Democrats, leftists are calling to abolish ICE, not Democrats. And those are very, very different. Democrats are, in my opinion, like center right, but yeah, Democrats, like the politicians itself, yeah, they want to reform them for sure. But that's still not putting non-citizens before citizens. I don't see how that would coincide with that.
You don't see how abolishing ICE would prioritize non-citizens?
No, reforming. Right.
Reforming, yes. Reforming.
But
better.
Yeah, and Democrats aren't calling to abolish ICE. Unless you can point to me a specific Democrat that's doing so. I haven't seen any that's calling to abolish ICE.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't. It's been mostly the people on the ground that.
So here,
it's always going to be the worst of the worst.
So here's the quote: "The U.S. government first duty is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens." Right, and it's not. It's neither. It's just to protect the people within your district. If you're, presiding over a district, like it's not either or. It's just, you know what I mean? Like it's very disingenuous to say that and to frame it that way. In my opinion, I think it's very disingenuous to frame it in that way, in the way that Trump did, because it was framed in such a way to get a gotcha, to get a clippable moment, right? Because again, you're not putting citizens or non-citizens first. That's not what it's about. Like that's not what politicians are doing. That's not their job to put one before the other.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Why they're not now, because they always have been. So clearly, it's not ICE specifically.